When watching cartoons, it's easy to forget the development and process that they went through to get to the point they're at. Although it may look like most cartoons have it all figured out, they've only made it to that stage through years of character development, art direction, and script changes. Many cartoons make proof of concept pilots to showcase what a cartoon can look like. Most of the time these pilots are very odd and seem out of place compared to the finished product. A main host of these pilots was Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network had hosted previous pilot programs, such as What a Cartoon in 1995 to 1997, but in 2000, The Big Pick was introduced. The Big Pick allowed viewers to pick from an array of cartoons to be chosen for a full series, and it proved successful in 2000. So, in 2001, they hosted the second Big Pick. The cartoons that are featured in this showcase were, hold on, I'm gonna have to take a deep breath. Captain Sturdy, In Pink, My Freaky Family, Major Flake, Utica Cartoon, Kids Next Door, Swoop, Ferret and Parrot, and finally, A Kitty Bobo Show. The main winner of the 2001 Big Pick was Kids Next Door, which was later renamed to codename Kids Next Door. Although it was the winner, many people considered A Kitty Bobo Show and Utica Cartoon as worthy winners too. Both cartoons were more mature than Kids Next Door, which could be one of the reasons neither short won. Although I like A Kitty Bobo Show, I've always liked Utica Cartoon a bit more, so today I'm going to be talking about the history and making of this cartoon. Utica Cartoon was written and created by two brothers called Fran and Will Krause. Fran had prior experience of animation, as he studied it at Rhode Island School of Design, the same school that Seth MacFarlane went to. Fran made many films during his time at the school, most notably Captain Old's Adventure in Mumbleland, which has a badly aged joke to say the least. Fran's animation experience helped to create the pilot with other people at Animation Cowboys, a small animation studio. They pitched Utica Cartoon to Cartoon Network and immediately started working on the pilot through the winter of 2000, and then finishing the pilot in mid-2001 for the second Big Pick. The cartoon is set in Utica, New York, as it's where Fran and Will had grown up over the years. The story of the cartoon is about a bear called Dan and a monkey called Micah, who are not in the best financial situation but still want to get a nice breakfast. Dan soon finds out that the hot dog place they're at has a break the record, eat for free rule. As Dan and Micah don't have much money, Dan takes the plunge to try and beat the record so that he sets himself to eat for free, but not without some help from his turtle friend Marty and his cheater friend Johnny, who are seen working on a bomb at the start. They eventually get caught cheating the record and end up getting subsequently arrested and driven to Canada by, it turns out, Johnny and Marty. One of the main things I love about this cartoon is how casual it is with its acting.
But you always have to break your record to eat for free?
Yeah!
Nothing feels too extreme and the jokes are subtle but effective. All the characters feel like very realistic in their mannerisms.
Marty, there's no chocolate in that one.
I also really like the animation. It's super neat and impressive for its time. Although there are a few little errors, I think it adds to the charm. The cartoon has a jumpy, hand-drawn feel to it, and you can sense the weight of characters' movement. This was back in 2000 to 2001, so digital animation wasn't as prevalent as today, meaning cell animation was used. This meant they had to hand paint every frame of animation as you see in the credits. As stated by Fran in an interview from 2009, they aimed the short for older people, which made it more difficult to get the votes it needed to be a series, but sadly, Utica Cartoon ended up being last place in the 2001 Big Pick. This led to people voicing their opinions about the cartoon's loss. People also voiced their opinions on how similar the cartoon was to Regular Show, a Cartoon Network show about two slackers trying to make ends meet and keep a steady job.
We like the breeze, float straight out of our lids. Them they got booed by these hard rock Brooklyn kids. Us floor rush when the DJ booming classics. You dig the crew on the fattest hip hop record. He tucks the kinks and sinks into the sounds. She frequents deep, fatter joints called undergrounds.
Regular Show released 8 years apart from Utica Cartoon. I don't really think it's exactly identical to Utica Cartoon, but I can definitely understand where people are coming from. I mean, the plot of Utica Cartoon's pilot is very similar to Regular Show's excellent challenge episode, which centres around one of the main characters, Mordecai, attempting to do an eating challenge. I also noticed the dynamic of Mordecai and Rigby is quite reminiscent of Utica Cartoon, although Dan and Micah's dynamic is more similar with the character design rather than the dialogue. Dan doesn't try to bully Micah like Mordecai does to Rigby, and I do think that Dan and Micah get along better than Mordecai and Rigby, but I will admit the synth at the start of Utica Cartoon, it sounds extremely similar to Regular Show's intro sting. Although people say Regular Show is very close to Utica Cartoon, I only think that fact relates to some of Regular Show's first series, because Like Utica Cartoon, it was finding its footing. Most people don't tend to think that the first series of a show is good, and that's because it's still a work in progress, and the longer a show is on the air, the more it defines itself. That's why so many iconic cartoons are amazing, because they've had a chance to figure things out and experiment. Utica Cartoon sadly did not get that chance to iron things out, even though it had lots of potential. Many people still think Utica Cartoon had a chance of being a classic, and I couldn't agree more.